Hi everyone, welcome to North Star Knife Reviews. Out in the backyard today, was doing a bit of gardening and actually roasting some of these tomatoes to freeze for winter. I'm going to give you a bonus recipe in just a second. And picking some of the habaneros that I have growing this year. Going to make some salsa, hopefully will be good. You want some good tomato soup? Get yourself some tomatoes. I actually prefer Romas, but I don't have any growing right now, so I'm using these. Cut these up, put them on a baking sheet. You're gonna get about, a single layer on a baking sheet, and cut the top off a head of garlic. Put that on the baking sheet. Cover everything with some olive oil, maybe about a quarter cup total. Put about a teaspoon of sugar, half teaspoon of salt sprinkled all over everything. Roast them for about an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours at 300 degrees. Pull them out, let them cool, squeeze out those garlic cloves, put them in a bag, freezer bag. One tray should fit about a quart, and save those for winter. So you put those in with a quart of chicken stock or vegetable stock if you want a vegetarian soup. You cook it together, get an immersion blender or put it in a blender. Make it all smooth, and then you can pour in a little cream if you like a cream tomato soup. But I tell you, that is the taste of summer. Aren't you glad I gave you that recipe? I'm sure y'all are. All right, now we're going to take a look at this knife that I got on National Knife Day. And some of you probably recognize this box already. This is the Boker Plus Kalashnikov. This has a sheep's foot blade. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I am not really an automatic kind of guy. I do have one other automatic that I got a while back, and I looked at it, I'm gonna guess about 2 months ago or so. It was an Ontario Strike Force automatic, 154 cm steel, pretty nice stuff. This is a basic automatic, and I've had a couple people tell me, oh, you should really get a Boker Kalashnikov. Well, I'd seen them out there, I'd thought about it, but I've been like, well, how good can an automatic that costs $40 be? All right, because these basic Bokers tend to run about $40 to $45. This one, however, I saw on National Knife Day, Blade HQ had a bunch of discontinued Kalashnikovs on sale. I got this for $27, and I think it was 88 cents. I looked at a couple of other videos on the Kalashnikovs and decided, you know what, let's give it a try. One of the things that everybody talks about is how reliable they are. And, again, I was thinking, this is a $40 knife. And an automatic, automatics can have a lot of things go wrong. Is it going to be worth it? Well, I got to tell you, I'm a convert. This is better than I really expected it was going to be. And I haven't used it a whole lot because I just got it a day or two ago. By the time you actually see this, it'll be a couple weeks. But the day I'm recording this, I got it just a day or two ago. And it feels very solid. And one of the things that everybody talks about is how reliable it is. This mechanism, just fires time after time, not a problem with it. Hold up really well, and I think that it probably is. And I gotta tell you, this is a pretty comfortable knife. Normally I'm not into having all the finger grooves that sort of lock you into a fixed position, but I gotta tell you, this fits my hand very well. If you have a little larger hands than mine are large. If you have extra large hands, might not. But I really like the feel of this. The only thing, this pot clip's very large. I do think that it might cause a hot spot at some point, but it's not too bad. Now this, the standard Bokers all come on the same basic frame. You have a ton of different color schemes, a few different blade shapes. I went with what they are calling the sheep's foot. I personally would call it a lamb's foot rather than a sheep's foot, but that's just me. Typically a sheep's foot is going to be straight and then angle down, whereas a lamb's foot comes down at an angle and then a sharper angle, as opposed to a Warncliffe, of course, which is sort of a constant curve. But they call it sheep's foot, so let's go with that. Just like the AK-47, which sort of inspired this, this has a lot of nods to that, actually. And that is, the AK-47 has a reputation of being, not fancy, but just really, really reliable, and this is sort of in that line. Now, you can see it has some nods to it. These 3 raised stripes, reminiscent of the magazine for the AK-47. Up here on the pivot pin, you have Kalashnikov written both in English using Latin letters and then in Russian using Cyrillic. You know, the name of it, the automatic Kalashnikov 74, AK-74, obviously a nod to AK-47. You can see it's got the little Boker Plus. Now this is an AUS-8 blade, and that is the basic steel that the Kalashnikovs have used. Now you can get some in things like S30V that are obviously more expensive, but this is the basic steel. I don't have a problem with AUS-8. I did find out why these are discontinued, and apparently Boker is not going to be using AUS-8 any longer. The basic steel for the Kalashnikovs is now going to be D2. And it looks like they are going to be running about $50 to $52 base instead of about $40, so it is going to be an increase in price. I do think Blade HQ, as of the day I'm recording this, still has some. This one I think is sold out now, but they do have some other Kalashnikovs on sale for, you know, anywhere from $28 to about $32. So if you want one in the AUS-8, a little cheaper, you know, you might want to hop on the stick, get over to Blade HQ, check them out. I can't guarantee you by the time this is up on YouTube that they'll have any, but they did. So anyway, this has an aluminum frame, closed length about 3.5 inches. The aluminum is interesting. It doesn't really feel like aluminum. It almost feels like a plastic composite, but it is aluminum. You've got the button, no safety on this, but the button is kind of recessed, so it shouldn't fire accidentally, and it does just shoot out of there. You can see it's not sharpened all the way to the end. The blade on this is just a hair under 3.5 inches. The cutting edge, if we're measuring from where it actually starts, is about 3.25 inches on this. Really, I gotta say, I'm a convert. I'm impressed. I think this is going to be a really good work knife. Never was into automatics really, but you know, who knows? We'll see what happens. I'm still a traditional guy at heart, but I really do like this knife. And for the couple people who suggested I pick one up, thank you. You steered me right. Anyway, you all have a great day. Hope you found this interesting. It's a little longer than I usually go, but hey, you got a bonus tomato soup recipe, or roasted tomatoes for tomato soup. You can also use it for pizza sauce, stuff like that. Anywho, y'all have yourselves a good day. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I will catch you next time.